Hi guys, Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Let's reflect back on the chaos that we went through in 2020. And I am looking forward to 2021. I just hope it will be a better year. So today's video is about what I would say to my 18-year-old self. So I'm just making this video for you 18-year-olds that want to move out so bad. And like, what I would say to my 18-year-old self is pretty much don't rush to move out, and gotta make sure to have a plan before you move out. Gotta make sure you're able to financially support yourself and have a good job, and like have a financially stable job. So, or in this case, as an 18-year-old with a disability, I would say wait until I get on AISH first before I move out. That's what I would have said to myself. So to be honest, I was criticized by my parents and my sisters for rushing to move out. They called me like a baby, and they basically belittled me. So, and I think that what they could have done was to take a non-critical approach, like one of my uncles did. Is like, hey, I know you want to move out, but make sure that you get on AISH first. Make sure because right now you're not making enough to support yourself. Right now you're making only like $200 a month at your piano job. That's not enough to cover like the basics, like rent, utilities, groceries, etc. So I think that's what my parents would have said. So instead of criticizing me and belittling me, so and what I think what my uncle did was he sat down with me and said, hey, this is something that you shouldn't rush. Just wait until you're financially stable to move out. And also to wait until you're in your early 20s, like 21 to move out. So, and this is the same thing I would say to my 18-year-old self and to current 18-year-olds. So, because honestly, like, it's not easy to live on your own while you're 18 years old, and plus you just newly became a legal adult. And I understand from an 18-year-old's perspective is that you want more freedom, you want to be more independent from your parents, and I get that, right? So let's face it, I've been 18 once, and 10 years later, when you're my age, you'll look back and say, wow, I rushed to move out. I did not think of a plan of how I would financially support myself. And yeah, so to 18-year-olds that are disabled like myself, who want to move out, just apply for AISH first and make sure that you're able to receive AISH first. So, because like I said in one of my videos, it's so difficult for disabled people to get a job. And I hate to say this, but the workplace is not accommodating to disabled people, especially people who are visually impaired and people who are deaf and so forth. And if you're a family member of someone who's 18 and wants to move out, just sit down with them, have a calm conversation instead of belittling them and cajoling them and criticizing them. So that's what I would say. So, because at that age when we turn 18, we're legally adults. We don't want to be called babies. So, like, I understand that, when you're 18, you just became an adult. You don't want to be called a baby, but yeah, people still call you a baby. But at the same time, we're just learning how to become an adult. We're just learning how to take adult responsibilities, and and a lot of us are still in high school at 18 or just graduated and started university or college. And tuition is freaking expensive. And that's why I didn't go to college right after high school. So I took a year off to upgrade. I had no money whatsoever to be able to afford to pay my tuition. So I basically had to save up. So I started university when I was 20 years old, like in 2013. So I was able to save enough money to pay for some of my tuition. I just couldn't afford it when I was 18 years old, and plus I would have to take my parents like income into account. And like when I got older, I didn't have to worry about taking my parents' income into account anymore. So that was nice. What is so ironic is that we're expected to be responsible as adults, but yet, when applying for student loans, we have to take our parents' income into account. So in a sense, we're still treated like children. And even under like healthcare insurance, if we're under 21 and not married, we could still be under our parents' healthcare insurance, which I think is kind of ironic, honestly. And what's so ironic is that our brains do not finish developing until in our early to mid 20s. And at 18, our brain is still developing, so we're not quite have a mature brain yet. So, yeah. What I would say is basically, like, wait until you're able to financially support yourself first before you try to move out. So, yeah. I didn't get on Nation until I was 23 years old. I moved out before I was 23, so I was 21 when I moved out. But I was very fortunate that I had savings, but I ran out of that savings in 8 months. In 8 to 12 months, I ran out. So I took out student loans and lived off of that until I was on age. So yeah. Like, it can be really rewarding to move out, and you get the independence, you get the freedom, you get your own space. It really teaches you how to adult. So in a sense, it does make you feel more like an adult, but also you have more responsibilities. You're paying your rent or mortgage, you're paying your groceries, you're paying your utilities. But if you're paying rent and you don't have to, and you don't have to pay utilities because the utilities come with the rent, that's great. That's one less expense to worry about. But what I say to 18-year-olds is, with more freedom, that comes with more responsibility. So it's not just all freedom and not. So don't expect to have freedom but no responsibility. So that's what a kid expects. An adult doesn't expect that. A real adult expects that they'll be responsible with the choices that they make. So, for example, you can choose to have a credit card, but you're responsible for paying its balance. So you can buy a house, but you're expected that you're financially stable, and they expect that you earn a certain amount of income before you buy a house. Like, I cannot buy a house because I'm on age, so I gotta, like I'm very fortunate that my parents bought me a condo, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to. I still would have been living in MacEwan residence. Like, AISH is just not it's not a lot of money to live off of, but I'm very fortunate that it's there for people like myself and other disabled people. I sure hope that you guys will learn from this video. And I'm just basically giving you guys advice based on my experience and based on my mistakes. Like, for those of you 18-year-olds that are in such a hurry to grow up, so what I would say is take it slowly. Just so enjoy being a teenager, because you still have, so you turn 18, so you have your 18-year-old and 19-year-old self to enjoy. So you have 2 years left of being a teenager before you hit your 20s. But what I would focus on is finishing high school and what you want to do right after high school. So that's what that's what I would advise you 18-year-olds to focus on, like even 17-year-olds. If you guys choose to take a gap year off, that's totally fine. But if you decide that, oh, I want to go to university right after high school, that's okay too. You know, just make sure that you're ready. Don't rush into it. And also have goals, have plans of what you want to study. And please do not waste your college years, just going with the flow and being undecided, because college is freaking expensive. It's a lot of money. So be wise with your education. Don't study something that you don't enjoy. And don't study something that your parents want you to study just to make them happy, because you'll be miserable at the end. It's your education. It's not your parents' education. And it's also up to you what you guys want to do right after high school. So again, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I'm looking forward to the new year. I'm sure you guys are too. Bye, and I'll see you guys for another video.